Hi guys, hold on. There we go. Oh my gosh. Technology, wonderful until it isn't. Anyway, thank you for your patience. Um, Bonnie, I didn't realize I was going live today either. I knew I kind of had it in my head that it was something that maybe I wanted to fit in this week, but I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to be able to do that. So, since I have been putting out like a lot of videos, I figured I earned myself a little bit of a break and that I could go live. So, hi, Dawn. Hi, Tina. So I have had this shadow box die for almost a full year and I have not used it yet. And so I wanted to use that. I'm going to take me down into the corner. Here I am still. And so I have the little shadow box, which I think is going to be adorable. I've not put it together before. And then I have some birthday stamps. This is the birthday dogs and cats with their coordinating dies. And then this is the party time. It's got like the little cakes and the balloons. So I thought that that would be kind of fun to put a little shadow box together. So I watched, I don't know if you know this, but Mindy Egan does Pretty Pink Pasha's like, hold on one second. Oh, always something. Anyway, she does their product videos. And so I watched her video on the shadow box before I committed to it because I was like, will I be able to do it or not? So I think that I can. So, all right. Let's do our stamping first because then we can die cut all of them together. I hope that makes sense. Oh, and of course I didn't wet my washcloth. I'm so ill prepared. And you know that I never clean my items. Oh, look at you're putting shadow boxes together too. So do you have a die or is this something that you like just put together yourself? Hi, Jackie. Where's my magnet seems to be sticking to something else. There it is. Found it. That's because Honeybee is doing like a mass retirement sale. So I was pulling out some product as I was going through it the other day. I was looking for stuff that I wanted to create with, and the stuff that I knew was retired. I was like, let me just go ahead and pull this out of there. All right. So I feel like this little cat in the corner of our shadow box would be very adorable. And then I, of course, like the little doggy with the balloon tied to his tail. That is also very adorable. So here is what, when I am picking out my stamps, like when I'm thinking about my scene, I know that like, so both of these are facing the same direction. Okay, this kitty's facing left, this dog is facing left. I need an element that is going to face right. So either I have to use this dog or this cat to have a balanced design. Oh, you're using your Cricut. Nice. Okay, and because I'm a dog person, I'm going to use the dog. Okay. And then for the back layer, where is, I'm willing to bet because my son's allergies were so bad the week before last that he has stolen my box of tissues out of here. So I'm going to go with this one because it is a little bit taller. So I'm going to go with this cake. And then, or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should go with the shortcake. And then I could do the shortcake and the short little bulldog in the front. And then I could do the balloon gift and the balloon dog because they're taller in the background. I feel like that would make sense because you'd be able to. So these would be, see, I have to dry fit everyone, like just so I know what I'm doing. So we would do here and here, and then in the back, it would be here and here, and then this cat in the, maybe the cat in the center. We got a lot going on, but I think we can make it work. Oh, hi, Julie. No worries. Thanks for popping in. Okay. And then who else popped in here? Is it Tara? All right. So I'm just going to space them out so that I can still die cut them. All righty. And then what are we thinking today? Oh, look at Brandon. Hi, Brandon. So what are we thinking today? Would we like to see some more simple coloring? I did a video the other day on the Honeybee channel. It'll be posted on mine later today. With some like more simpler shading. Would you guys like to see that, or would you like to see something else? Also, a little sneak peek. Look, I finally bought some Ohuhus to try. So I'll be doing a review on those. Why did I finally break down and buy some Ohuhus? You might be asking yourself. My daughter, because of my daughter. She's really good. I mean, I can't even pretend like she's not. Like, that's not just a mom being like, oh, my kid's so great. Like, she's 4 years old and she's already like, she stays in the lines. She's really good. She enjoys coloring a lot. And so because of that, we're using ink that's safe for alcohol markers. And because of that, I did buy her some markers because she's using them. Like, who am I to be like, no, when she so clearly has found something that she enjoys so much. Like, every day when she comes home, she just likes to sit and color. We do little printable pages because her coloring books are too thin for alcohol markers. All right. So anyway, back to my OG question. What are we thinking for coloring? My regular style of coloring, something a little bit more simple. We're going to stamp them twice because you know I love a bold black outline. And then I am going to very quickly secure a box of tissues. So you don't have to listen. Well, hopefully you won't have to listen to me sniffle the whole time. So stand by, BRB. Normally I would not do this, but the sniffling is. Okay. All right. Now we're back in business. Okay. Bonnie, some regular. In my house, they are all my markers, but I do have a set for the boys to use. They love. That's so nice. I liked the video yesterday, but I love your regular coloring. Okay, Brandon, I'm gonna go with what you got. So I'm gonna lay this up here. And You know I never clean off my... I'm terrible. Like, because I just have so many things that I want to make that the desk always doesn't get cleaned off. But my gray markers are underneath here. Hence why I have to root around. Okay. Yeah, but like what is going on with Ohio? It's so like everything's it's like 80 degrees and then it's 30 degrees. Now today isn't bad. Today's like, what is it? I think the high 69 where I'm at. Okay. So for a totally unrelated venture, I had to clean off my desk last night. Not really clean it, but just move some things around. And so I put it all on top of my markers, and now I have to remedy that situation. Okay. So I'm thinking we'll do a combination of cool grays and warm grays. And then probably some browns would be my guess. All right, so let's do our little buddy here. I'm going to do I'm going to do his body a cool gray. Now, I do have to say that I have lost, I don't know where it is. I have lost my C3. Honestly, one of my kids probably ran off with that. So my C3 is a what do we even call these? A chow. So that's what we're using. Same color, different marker. Okay. So here, I'm going to do my little, what is he? Like a little pug, a little bulldog, little something with short legs. So these little guys are behind. So they're going to have darker shadow. And then where his neck meets his body is, well, we'll do his tail white. Why not? And then where his little hat is sitting on his head and under his nose and under his mouth. Then we're going to go in and blend that out with the C3. And I'm also going to add some other shading with the C3 in his little ear. Okay. And then maybe up from his little belly. But I want him to look white. So I'm not going to be adding too much. And then again, I'm going to go right over top of that. I'm not going to be extending it out too much. Just enough to blend it out. The back legs, I don't worry so much about making sure that I keep a white area because they're under his little body. And right now it looks a little bit crazy, but it will look better once we get more color on him. So then for his little spots, oh my gosh, I'm so sniffly. I'm going to do a 53, a 55, and a 57. And then for here, again, I'm going to add that shading underneath his hat and along his little tushy here. This one in the center, I'm not going to add any darkest color to. And then most of what we'll see is this mid-tone. And here too. Forgot about that little guy. And then our 53 is our little highlight color. Okay. I am also going to grab a... Hi, Jeanette. I always forget to leave my white until I end up with gray things and I have to start again. I have a tendency to do that too. Your colorless blender is your friend in that case. So I'm going to do a R20 in his ears and for his tongue. And then I'm going to do I do have black over here. Okay. I'm going to do black on the bottom of his nose. And then I'm going to do a C7 along the top. Okay, and I'm not sure what my color scheme is going to be yet, so I'm just going to leave him just like this. He's looking very adorable. And I will move on to these guys. Now, to me, this guy clearly looks like he's supposed to be a Dalmatian. You could also maybe turn him into like a blue heeler type. But with those little polka dots, that is what he looks like to me. And so I will color him white and do his little black polka dots. Oh, Brandon, you've been doing watercolor lately. I did see that. I think you shared it on Facebook. Okay, under the ear, under the nose. Remember, this is a back leg. Behind his little hip here. Along this. And then where his little tail meets his body. I will probably take this all the way down his back. And then on the top back side of his ear. Oh, and underneath his hat. I almost forgot that. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to go over that. Big open, like Tina was talking about how she is heavy-handed with her grays. Big open stamps like this make it a lot easier to leave that white. So if you're struggling with that, I would practice with larger images. Okay. And then I am going to just kind of flick this up a little. I still want to maintain that white, but I would like for him to be a little bit blended out. Okay. I like how adorable he is. Do I like the Ohuhu markers? I like I think that the nib and the tip work well. I have not really experimented too much with blending, so I cannot speak about that. All right, so I am going to take my black markers, and in the areas in which it's in the darkest shadow, I am going to make my dots black. But in the areas where it's a little bit lighter, I'm going to do a C7, like where we're still in that gray shading. And then in the areas where we're out, oh, I might as well get his nose while I'm here. Where we're all the way out to the white, I'm going to do a C5. $120. Wow, that's a lot. All right. So then there's our little Dalmatian. And again, we're not doing anything with that yet. I'm going to do my cat, I think, as a little ginger. I think that's what I'm going to do. Where's my 33? I know I have it. There it is. It was in the greens. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. So this one is a 4-color blend, and that is because we have a couple of different things going on. But I'm going to make I had the original set. Oh, Susan likes hers a lot. Yeah, I did get a little bit of a larger set because I also wanted to try them. So I figure if I'm getting them for her, I might as well indulge. And so we will see. All right. So his paw is behind. His paw is behind. This one also behind. And then I'm going to do his tail. I am going in between his little ginger spots, which normally I don't like to color like that because it can be very challenging. I'm going to add a little bit of shadow down here. And then along his back. Normally I don't like to do that because coloring around things is difficult and it is hard to make it look good. Under his nose, under his mouth. Kind of up the side of his face on this side, not this side. I don't want them to blend together. And then, yeah, Brandon, the 120 is what I bought. Okay. And then we'll blend these out. Again, I'm working around those little stripities. You could also do this as like a gray tabby with the little stripities. That would be cute too. But we already have a lot of gray with our doggies. Okay. And then this is the 35. I'm filling in those back paws. The tail. I'm just really going to basically be leaving his belly for the highlight color and his little stripes. If you're not liking how it's blending, just go back over it. Okay, now I'm going to get those little, oh, I have to go back and get his nose with a little bit of a darker color, but that's okay. Okay. If you feel like you don't have enough contrast between your back legs and your forelegs, you can always go back in with that darker color. And add that back in. And then it'll push them to the back. Okay, I'm going to do his little nose. They normally have like little pink noses, don't they? I think they do. Okay, I'm going to go with that little pink nose. And then I'm also going to give him a little blush cheek. I'm going to give all my little guys a little blush cheek. I know that that's not realistic, but also this is my card and I don't care. Like, I think it's cute. I don't care if people don't like it. Okay. So these are the kind of cards that if you want your pink to be more blended out, you can use your colorless blender if you can locate it. Let's not hold our breath on finding mine. I just used it yesterday. I literally just used it yesterday. Where did you go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So anyway, when you have white things, if you want that to be a little bit more blended, you can hit the edges with your colorless blender and it'll knock it back a little bit. It's not as harsh when you're putting it on something that's color. Okay. So that is all of our little animals. Now, I feel like I'm just going to go with like a red, yellow, blue type situation so that I can give this card to literally anybody. So let's do that, and then we'll see if we want to add any other colors in. 29, 59. There you are. Oh, hi, Melissa. Yeah, they are adorable. They are very, very cute. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So cards like this, I typically give to Eric's aunt. She is very, very involved with the pet rescues. And so whenever I give her a card for like Christmas or birthday or whatever, I always make sure that they're like cute little guys. So I'm actually going to go in here and do my shading. So this is a little trick that you can use, and I'm sure you've probably seen me do it. So we talked about like it's really challenging to color around items. And when you're coloring with alcohol markers, you do typically want to start with your lightest color and then into your darkest so that you don't pick up that darker color and drag it. So if you want something to have like white polka dots or white stripes or something like that, you can go in and shade the whole thing first with the grays or the white, and then that way all of that is done. So let's say we want to do this one here with some white stripes. Sorry, Seven Nation Army then played in my head. So I'll add that around there, and then I will add it around here. Now this box is in front, so I do have a little bit more shadow to add. Don't be afraid to add the shadow to the other things because most colors are going to cover that up. And then you can also, we'll add a shadow next to the ribbon, but I'm going to do it with the C3 instead of the C5, so it's not too overwhelming because these aren't exactly huge. Okay. And then the C1. And I know they don't look like anything fantastic now, but just hang tight. Okay. And maybe we'll do this one back here. I do love a white polka dot. There's something about it that just seems like so sweet. Oh yes, they did. They moved. They actually moved in end of February, beginning of March. So it's been nice having them closer. We just had them over actually for dinner on Sunday. And then Saturday they took Caitlin for just like a couple of hours, which was really nice because before that wasn't an option. We had to drive an hour to even get to them. Oh, Brandon's talking about his go-to medium. Is it alcohol markers now? Okay. So now let's move on to the red. So I can't remember if I showed these before. I'm gonna just pop them on here. Why did I never think of this? Shading with the white, is that what you're talking about? All right, so let's do, I feel like that's, if I do a red bow, it's going to look too like Christmas. So let's do this one red. The little top of his hat. Not a lot of real estate, so we're not going to be crazy. We won't fit all 4 colors into this one. Yeah, they actually built a house. There's a new 55 or older development. And So they were waiting for their house to be built. And it's actually really nice because they have like a lot of social things. Could I just color glaze over the gray? Tina, yes. And I've actually showed videos on like older videos. I should do that again because you can do the same. Yes, you absolutely can. I do prefer the gray Copics as well, Brandon. So yeah, it is very nice having them close. Let's do a red gift back here. Okay. Apparently, Tina, I need to revisit that. It's been a long time since I have shared that particular. I know why too, because this is so funny. I did that at Simon Says Create. The first time that I went to Create when I was working for Neat and Tangled, that was the technique that I did at the make and take table. And I had to go, Dawn was teaching that year. And so I had to go be in Dawn's class, and Jennifer was going to come take over my table. And we all know like Jennifer doesn't love to color. And so she came to my table and she was like, yeah, I can't do that. And then she made Sherry take it. Sherry Carroll, who I love. She's like my spirit animal. But so she made Sherry take over my table. And she went and did the wow table, which I thought was very funny. And then we talked about me doing a video on her channel, and that, which is my own fault that I never did it, but doing that technique. And I think that's why I never revisit it, because I kept telling myself I was going to do it over there, but then I didn't. Okay, so let's do a red balloon. I'm not going to use the darkest color for this. I'm going to use my mid-tone. And then I'm going to kind of, it's darkest where it's gathered at the bottom, and then I'm going to go up the side there. Same thing here. I'm going to connect them at the top. And then I'm going to use my lightest color in the center. This marker clearly needs to be re-inked. And then around the edges. Okay. All right. So there's one little balloon. We'll come back to the red if we need it. I'm not sure what we're doing yet. That's a lot in the shadow box. How large is the shadow box? So the shadow box is this-ish size. We'll see if it all fits in there. If it doesn't, then I'll just put it on another card, or maybe I'll make a coordinating tag. This week I have to make about 24 Mother's Day cards for people at work to buy, so my evenings are going to be spent in the craft room. That's so fun. Okay, now what do we say? Blue. 2, 4, 6. This is my favorite blue combination, and I know that it's more of like a Tiffany blue and not like a true blue. Like, oh, look at, we're upside down. Boop. Like, this is more of like a true blue. But I like this one better. It's brighter, I think. Okay. So let's do his hat blue. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Well, there's years and years of videos back there. new ones coming out all the time. Okay. So there's that. And then I'm going to do, I think I'll do this one back here. So now see, I'm going to color around those little dots, and the dots are already shaded. So I don't have to worry about those. And then I can just add my blue in between and not have to worry about kind of shading all of these little teeny tiny dots here. And then I am going to do the bow blue. Yeah, Mother's Day, Mother's Day was the last holiday I celebrated with my mom before she passed. So I don't really know what Mother's Day is going to look like for us now. I mean, I will still get together with my siblings. And I think we'll probably just do, we always used to do a brunch for Mom. She loved breakfast. She loved French toast. So I think we might just continue to do that. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tina. Hi, Eleanor. Okay. So we did blue there. And I think we'll do a little blue stripe here. I'm going to do it up here, I think. So here where I'm adding the shading to my stripes, I'm following the same shading that I added to the dog. So the dog has the darker shading on the right-hand side. So when I'm doing the hat, I'm adding the darker shading to the right-hand side. Okay. And then here, if you have not seen this before, here's how we're going to make our balloons transparent. So this, remember this mid-tone, kind of connected around there. This one I am going to do the full 4 colors because it does help it blend better. And then the last one is the B00. So this is how most of us would color our balloons, right? And we would just stop right there. But we are not going to do that. We are going to make this transparent. So in order to do that, we're just going to take, this is my lightest color, and we're going to follow the shape of the balloon right into that red. And then see how it looks like. You can see through it. So I love that for us. I'm going to do the bow over here blue, I think. Okay. And then I am reserving just a little bit at the top in the middle for my lightest color. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do there we go. Just a couple of little, I think I'm going to do this one like multicolor. So, all right, let's do the yellows. $2, $8, $24, $99. Okay. I don't think we'll ever get easier, but one day at a time. Oh, yeah. I do. I mean, I do still make cards for like my mother-in-law and my sisters and stuff, but this year is the first year, so it's a little fresh. Okay. So now I'm going to do, what are we going to do? Let's do this little package yellow. I think we're going to end up adding more colors than just our primaries, but that's okay. This is going to look like, Kelly, why would you choose to color your present brown? But I'm not, I promise you. The trick to this particular combination is, this is the one that needs to be refilled, is that you have to go over those darker colors with the yellow to really bring the gold out. And then it looks like a yellow instead of like a brown. Okay. And then let's do this in between here. I'm going to skip and just go right into the yellows because it's so, there we go. And then over here, I will do my balloon here. Yellow. So the trick with the transparency is you have to put colors next to each other that work well together. So that way when you put the color over top of it, that it works. So sometimes what happens, see, this one is too light. You can't see it. So instead of using my lightest color, I'm going to go in with my mid-tone and go over top of it. And then that will make it. Oh, sorry. That will make it so that we can actually see it. And then I'm going to do my dots. Okay. I think I have this on my desk, so we're going to go green. I don't know if I'll need the fourth color, but okay. 3, 17, 67. So this is going to be my combination for my greens. And I'm going to do my stripe down here, green. So again, we want to add our darker shading where it was already dark. And then blend that out. This one will definitely not use all 4 colors. But that's okay. We don't have a lot of real estate. We're just making a little stripey. And this one I'm just gonna stick with the same color and do my bow. Any tips for coloring with yellow? It always smears on my black stamp outline. Well, I know lighter colors. I mean, if you're going to have a smear, you're going to be able to see it with the lighter colors. But is your marker well inked? Are you scrubbing it or going over it multiple times? Because sometimes that can do it as well. And I think I missed a question. I know. I know we all know this, but I'm still so tickled I could be in my home in Podunk Town in California to learn real time how to color and design from such a nice lady in Cleveland, Ohio. Jeanette, that is so nice. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, the ink definitely matters. Memento Tuxedo Black. So that's like the OG, like for coloring with alcohol markers, but it's not a very bold black. So I haven't used it in years. So I'm not sure if that would be the issue or not. I know sometimes people have better luck after they heat set their ink. So that might be something to consider. This I typically use. There's like two that I use. There's other ones too, but like for the most part, I'm usually using Honeybee Intense Black, or I am using Hero Arts. This is their Intense Black. Now they only carry the Intensified Black. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. I use both of those. I also use the Gina K Amalgam ink, but I do sometimes heat set this one beforehand. Okay. Can you use the Nocturne Black ink? It's a pigment. I honestly don't know. I do use, hold on, if I can find it. I do use Altenews Obsidian pigment ink for coloring with their alcohol markers and haven't had any issues. But I can't speak on all pigment inks, but I have used theirs. I know that. Okay. So now, oh, green. We're still on the green. So let's get this. And I'm thinking we should do his balloon green, since we have all the primaries over there. Okay. Obviously, this one we won't be able to make it look like it's transparent because there's no balloons behind it. But that's okay. I think this will do the hard work for us. And then what else can we do here? I need something else that's green. I don't want to do this. That's going to look like a Christmas present. So maybe I'll do his bow green. And then here, I'm just adding some shading to the ends just to help give it a little bit more movement. Yeah, Brandon, I don't see any reason to. Like, if you find one that works for you and you're happy with it, then I would just stick with that one. I've heard people talk about some of the inks that I use that they have smeared on them. And I don't really know why that would be. Like, I double stamp all of my stamps. If I'd stamp it more than twice, I do heat set it because, you know, that ink is sitting there and I'm impatient. But if it is, let's do that one. I haven't had any issues with it. I am going to go back in and get the rest of these dots, and then this one will be done. There we go. Okay. That's a cute little gift. Okay, we're back down here now. I think we're going to do red for this guy right here. I got to figure out what color we're going to color the cake. Maybe we'll do a little combination. Okay. Yeah, it's so interesting because I wonder if it has to do with like the climates or whatever, where everybody is, whether or not an ink works better for them. Okay, there's that. And then here, I think we're back to repeating our colors. I think I'm going to do this one blue, only because I don't like it with yellow. I don't like it with yellow, and I cannot do it with green because that is Christmas to me. I know that isn't the case for everybody, but it is the case for this girl. Oh, gotta get that little corner. There we go. Oh, hi, Lori. Yeah, I typically am when I do my lives, I try not to plan them out too far in advance because I'm telling you, if something can go wrong, it will. And then I'm like, man, didn't get to do the thing I wanted to do or whatever it was. I need so the little top piece will be blue. And I'll have to pop the little yellow just right there in the top. Yeah, I'll be live for Honeybee tomorrow on Honeybee's channel. But today, I'm on my own. Okay. So I'm going to use, because I am a big fan of repeating colors we've already used. I feel like that adds to the like continuity of the card. There it is. So I am going to do my cake the same color though as we did our little guy here. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know your name. Napworthy. I thank you. Okay. And then I'm going to add the shading. That's like to the actual cake part of it. Wrong side. Oh, thank you, Tina. All right. I think I need to add a little bit in between there. And then I'm only going to add the 57 for like the darkest parts. So right underneath the frosting, and then maybe on the bottom layers. So not a ton of dark. And then I'm going to go back through. See, I still do lightest to darkest, darkest to lightest when I'm not sure what I'm going to do. That hasn't changed. All right. So now I think that's a good cake color. And let's go with some like strawberry frosting. I am going to color in this bottom part down in here with some cool grays for the tray. 3, 5, 7. Only if I can locate it. 7. Okay. So where the cake is sitting on its tray will be the darkest. And then for this layer, I'm just going to add a little bit of dark to the left and right hand side. Same thing here with the C5. And then the C3 on the edge of the top and then in the center. Okay. Oh my goodness. Only 50 more roses to go. Girl, you working. All right. I'm going to do the red combination, but I'm going to leave off the darkest color for our little strawberry frosting. So I'm going to add where it comes up like a little triangle right on top and then across the top. For the sides, I'm going to do shading on the left and right hand side. And that way I can have a center highlight. Okay. Go over this. Kind of around the edges. Over that darkest color. And I'm leaving that area in the middle for my highlight. And then here, just take my time and make sure I'm going over those colors so they're blending together. Like it. Look at what a cute little cake. Thank you so much. JB, that's how it's supposed to be. Lightest to darkest, darkest to lightest. All right, so for the candles, I'm thinking we'll just do the other, like the other colors. So we'll do a blue. A green. And then a yellow. And then I'm going to use the same yellows for my flames. And I'm just going to use the 2 lightest yellows. There we go. Okay. I think they're looking mighty adorable. Very, very cute. Bye, Brandon. Okay. So let's zoom back out here. And now we're going to do our die cutting. So now what did I do with the other one? There it is. Okay. And so for the shadow box, I do have to pick. Well, who are we kidding? We know I'm going to pick blue. And I have I think I have a bright blue. Oh, Sandy, yeah, we just you probably missed that conversation. We just talked about that. I just bought them. I just bought the Ohuhus to give them a try. Where is my I'm looking for my Cosmic Sky from Spellbinders. Because I feel like that'll be a good blue. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sharon. Well, you only missed we just missed the coloring, not the putting together. Okay. So I'm thinking this is going to be, let me cut this in half so that we can actually fit it through. This is one of my favorite cardstock colors. Okay. And then my understanding is I need a green to do my little hills that my little puppy dogs are going to be sitting on. So let me grab a green. All right, now, come on. Don't be like that. Okay. So I think this is going to be the best fit. Oh. For our little hills that they'll sit on. Okay. And then I think I do want to do little clouds in the back. Maybe. If they'll allow it. I don't know how much room I have, guys. I've never put this together. Okay, Eleanor, that's good to know. Yeah, Sharon, it's a sniffly day today, unfortunately. So the people who are like, I don't want to listen to your sniffles, I totally get it. But also, I would watch the replay, not the replay, the edited version when that comes out. Okay, so I need to trim this down. I am going to cut some clouds just to see if I can fit them in or not. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I feel like why not give it a try? All right, I don't think I'll need this whole thing, so I am going to cut it. But I will need the white. Can I fit both of these on here? I don't know. Let's find out. E. There we go. Okay. And then I need this. And I need this. So this is the base piece that is, wow, it is really on there. It is really stuck on there. Hold on, I'm going to get it. It's just taking a minute. I'm trying not to rip the packaging. There we go. Okay, and then so here's how this works. Okay, you can use this or this to cut the middle out of your window. And then this piece is your base piece for like what your things will sit on, but you can alter it with turning it into clouds, grass, or waves, I guess, water. So that way you can do a bunch of different ones. So this is my main box piece. I'm going to scoop these. So this is my main box piece. Oh, look, and it fits right there, edge to edge. Oh, Paulina, you're brilliant. Okay. And then I'm going to tape that in place. And it does give you the little score lines, which we do appreciate. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Josie. I'm glad that you made it. It's great that you're going to create. That'll be so much fun. Yes, the Ohuhus are doing refills now. Okay. So we're going to do that. And then I do want, this doesn't cut out the center. This just does the stitching die. But I do want to decorate the outside of my box with that. So I'm going to put this in to create a frame. Just going to get it lined up. And then I can tape it in place. Well, I could if I could find my tape. Okay. So that is going to be the outside frame. Oh, look, it stuck to my finger. The outside frame to decorate my shadow box. Just going to secure this a little bit better. Okay, so that's that. This one I'm going to cut my hill out of. And then we'll come back later and make it grass. Yeah, Lori, this is Cosmic Sky from Spellbinders. It is one of my favorite blues. Okay, so now let's cut out our little guys. I'm going to mute you for 1 second so that I can blow my nose. Maybe that'll buy us a little bit of time. Okay. So now all right. I'm going to pop out our little dies here. And this is our little kitty. And this is our little chunky monkey down here. And then this is our present with our balloons. And we did the shorter cake. Okay. Hi, Shari. Okay. So now we'll get these little guys taped in place. Okay. That one actually should hold, I think. Then we'll do this. Get him lined up. He's so cute. And our little kitty cat. Okay. And our present. Okay. Now, let me get my die cutter up here. Okay. Scoot them over. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do these guys first so that we can just get them all done in one pass. And then there we go. So I've been, I used to put my die cuts into like a little cup. These are the craft trays from Glassboard Studio. They come in a pack of 3. I've been using these quite a bit because they come in bigger sizes, and I like that. Like the other day I did a card where I die cut like this large fence, and the whole thing fit in there. It was super, super nice. And then I also, I've been using, here, because you can see I haven't cleaned them up. These are actually magnetic trays for ink pads, but I actually use them to put my dies in them after I die cut so that I don't lose them, because it's magnetic and they just stay in here until I put them away instead of chasing them all over my desk. So, I will at some point have they're having a sale that's coming up. So if you're interested in those things, be on the lookout for that. Okay. Oh, hi, Diane. Your first one? Well, welcome. Thanks for showing up. Okay. So now I'm going to do the hill. Let me scoot this over. I'm going to do the hill and the frame. I'm going to flip it over. So weird little tip. See how this has the wording? If you flip this over and run this through on like lighter colored cardstock, sometimes it transfers. So just something to keep in mind. All right. Yeah, Julie, I love my trays too. I use one as a trash can on my desk, and then I use the other 2. One is like a little cleanup tray for like my embossing and stuff. Here is that little hill. See how it has the little edges embossed? And then I use one as like a little cleanup tray, and then the other one I use, the largest one I use to do my dies. Oh, that's okay, Josie. Don't worry about it. We are using, here's our little frame. We are using the Party Time stamps and dies and the Birthday Dogs and Cats stamps and dies. The die we're using here is the Shadow Box. Okay. And now, I think it's getting worse, guys. I think we're getting more sniffly, if that's even possible. Oh, Melissa, that's a good idea. Yeah, Tina, I am terrible about cleaning because like I have so many things that I'm making. And then trying to get the video up and all that jazz. So it is a struggle for me. Okay. So here's one piece of our shadow box. We need 2 of these to put the whole thing together. And then one of them will get our window out of. I hope that makes sense. So let me get this down. Because this thing is edge to edge here. Okay. And I'm just going to check to make sure. Yep, we're good. And then for this one, I'm going to put that window. Also, added bonus of just like a stitched cute little square right there. But I'm going to put this window die here, this one. And this is going to cut out the front of our shadow box. I do have to turn this toward me so that I know that it's straight. All right. So then we just put that into place. And then it'll cut both of them at the same time. That looks a little wonky. That looks better. Okay. So now it'll cut both of those at the same time. And we're going to cut our hill here. I sometimes put a piece of copy paper. That is a great idea. I did used to do that. And I don't know why I stopped, honestly. So now this one cuts out our second piece and cuts out our window. Oop. Okay. So now we have the back piece of our shadow box and the front piece of the shadow box. Dies. Okay. Hill. So then we only have one hill left, which is actually going to be our clouds. So I'm going to cut this out of white here. And then one of these, let me, so you can see. So I'm going to do the white hill. And then one of these, I'm going to do the grass on. So we just lay that over top here. And it'll cut out a little grass top border. Okay. So now we can run those through. I'm going to leave the back hill a true hill, like with the rounded I'm just going to do the front one with the grass. And again, I could have like delusions of grandeur here that, you know, maybe all of them might not fit onto what we're doing. Oh, look at, yeah, see, that's so cute with the little grass. Adorable. Because I don't even know if it will fit. That's the truth, because I've never, because I have never used it before. All right, so now there's that, and we're going to do the clouds on this one. I like how they hang off the edge a bit. This one you do have to get down far enough that it gets the top of that cloud. And then we'll tape that in place. But I like how this edges overhang, so then you don't have to be like super precise about lining them up. Okay. Yeah, Jennifer's brilliant. She comes up with so many things. Okay. And there's our clouds. So now, let's see about putting this thing together. Okay, so we have and then our little frame will go here. And then our little grasses. And this is going to have our cake. Oh, look at it. I shouldn't even have bothered to cut the grasses. You can't even see it. See, lesson learned. And this little party doggy, who I think we're going to scoot over here so we only see his face and not his rump. Okay. Like he's just peeking in. Then we have our hill. With our tall doggy. He looks massive. Doesn't he look just huge? This is how, like, knowing scale is important. And then I was going to do the presents over here. We're just doing a little dry fit situation. And then the cat. Oh, I think it's going to be too much. I think we're just going to have to settle for this. And then maybe the clouds in the background. And then this blue will be this blue. Okay. So let's get maybe we'll flip-flop these so that the grasses is on the top. All right. How much of this gets covered? I'm just going to do, if I can find a pencil, I'm just going to do a little pencil mark so that I can know where to adhere my little, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to glue these down to their landings. I don't know what else to call them. Okay. I don't think we're going to be, maybe we could put the cat on the outside. Maybe we could put the cat on the outside. Okay, let's. normally I would also, okay. Are you going to work? Yes or no? Well, that wasn't the problem. Maybe it just hasn't made its way down here yet. Maybe that's the problem. Shake it, shake it, shake it. There we go. Oh, you know what? I don't need glue on everything. I only need glue on the bottom. Disregard. Abort, abort. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to do our little doggy. And he is just going to pop in his little face. Now, I do believe he needs more glue because he doesn't hang over as high. Okay. Oh, yeah. Melissa, please. Definitely have to wipe glue off over here. All right. So I put him down, but see how he's overhanging my my little flap here, which will adhere it. So I think I have to, if I could pick it up, I think I'm going to have to trim off his little doggy tush, which makes me a little sad because his little rump was adorable. Okay. Anywho. All right. I have to get the glue off of my fingers, though. Okay. That is better. Okay. And then this one, so it'll stand up like that in our little shadow box. Then this one, I have to figure out. So he's going to look like this. And then our grass will tuck behind. And so I need to figure out where I'm going to adhere this little doggy in the window. Okay. Tweezers, tweezers, tweezers. Up here. All right. So I'm just going to hold this here and then slide my little guy down, 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 down. Okay. And now, this side, hold this in place and slide this little guy down. I want to move him over a little bit, I think. Okay. But I want this guy, boop, to be in front of that guy. Okay. All right, now we got like a whole birthday party going. Okay. I do have to send my child a message to let him know that I'm doing a live because he is coming home from school and I can hear the screeching. Okay. I'm doing a live. Quiet when you come in. Love you. Okay. And To further ensure the screeching will not be heard, I'm going to shut my door. Okay. Okay. All right. So now these guys are separate guys. And there's nothing that hangs over there. So I can just fold these over. And now we got to put together these guys. So my understanding is they go like this. There, we flip them upside down. Well, maybe we should do the fold first. That would be good, huh? Okay. And so that's the front of our box. Okay. And this is the back of our box. So then we want to put adhesive on this side of the flap. So when we line it up, the seam is hid on the inside. I just want to make sure I'm lined up before I fully commit. Nope, I'm over. I think it'll be easier for me to line it up this way. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, well, we had one little, of course, now it's all stuck together. Why? Why? All right, let's try it again. Okay, I think it'll be easier to line it up this way where I can see the seam. Okay, and I am right. Thankfully, this is on the inside of the box, and we will not see it. Okay, so now, then, this tab will come in here and create our shadow box, like this. So now, our little guy, I imagine they just get lined up right in a row here. Right? And then our clouds. But only on the sides, not to each other. Slide down in there. Like that. Right? I do want to scoot that up just a little bit. Okay. So now, I guess I do them like right in a row like that. Right? Because I'll have to get folded over and they'll adhere here. So if I put the glue there and then fold it over, and then what? Over here? We're going to try it. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. And then this one goes here. Right? So that we should stick this one down. And then take this one off. And then I should just be able to close it. And it should pick up exactly where it is supposed to go. Right? Hey! We got clouds. Okay. Okay, so this, I'm actually perfectly happy with that peeling off. That is totally fine. Okay. You guys are giving me so much credit. If I was not on a live in the daytime, that is family friendly, there may be a word or two. There would be a lot of words. I don't know who I'm kidding. I am who I am. But part of it is just knowing that I don't know what I'm doing. And so I am just trying to be patient with myself because it is very apparent that I do not know what I'm doing. Okay, so then these go here. Just got to scoot it up just a little so that we can't see that white. And then this gets folded. Nope, I'm over too far. I got to come here. There we go. And then this gets folded. Push down, fold over. Oh, I can't fold it over anymore because I did this. Oh, I do have to do them all at one time. Or maybe not. Maybe that trick doesn't work like that. I don't. Okay, well, that trick isn't going to work a second time, I guess. So I'm just going to have to fold it. No, 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 don't get crazy. There's probably an easier way to do this. I just don't know what it is. Oh, maybe they're not supposed to overlap. Is that the problem? Let me. Maybe my little guys are not supposed to overlap and I am the problem. Maybe they just go right next to each other. Oh, no. Nope. That ain't gonna work. Okay, so let's pick up this white one. I was going to call Mindy before I did this, and now I feel like I should have. I'm not sure, but when you connect the left, then fold the left, and then close the other side. Yeah, I know, but the problem is that worked for the first one, but it's not working for the second one. So that's why I'm wondering, like, am I... This is also not holding now. Am I supposed to put them all on at the same time? Because I don't know that I'm capable of that. Okay. I agree, Jackie. There is always a learning curve. So now, let me see about... getting them in here this way. Okay. All right. That does seem to work, but you can see through the whites of my clouds, and I don't like that. And then also, I don't think this one will fit. Oh, you know what? Wait. It's a shadow box. It's like a terrarium, like a, if I move them up, the sides, then they aren't on top of each other, but they are in front of each other. That makes so much more sense. So the base layer goes down to the corners of the image, and then if you move them up, the box, see how there's a gap now? That makes so much more sense. Okay. But I do think these types of things are super important to share. Hi, Tamara. Because you're going to be sitting at home in your craft room like, why can't I get this to work? Or what am I doing wrong? And then, like, it's important to share that sometimes it doesn't go right. Even for the people who, like, this is their job. Alrighty. So now this one should go in easy because I know that I need to adhere it. I'm going to go down here so I can line it up. Push that and then flip it. Oh my gosh, that was so much easier, guys. So much easier once we figured out what we were doing. Okay, now look at them. Look at them. Look at them. Once I figured it out, though, not hard at all. I was making it so much more difficult than it needed to be. Like a lot. Like a lot. All right, we got to close her up. You know what? Before I close her up, let's decorate the outside. So here's my little frame. Okay. Wow. I was definitely making that more difficult than it needed to be. Which, isn't that always the case? There we go. This glue, I think it's because I just keep setting it down instead of putting it in the upside down glue holder. Where is my glue holder? Okay, so I'm going to put this on the outside. Can you rehash what you figured out? Yes. Yes, I can, Melissa. All right, so let me get my frame on here. Look how cute that little scallop frame is. Adorable. All right, so I was trying to put them on so that they were one right on top of the other. And in order for them to go on, you actually have to move them. Let me angle it. See how it's like a step? You have to move them up the side of the box. So the clouds, or the first one, is all the way down into like the little cranny of the corner. But then the next one has like, I don't know, a 1/4 of an inch gap is where I adhered it. And then there's another 1/4 of an inch gap so that it goes step, step, step. And then that way, see how you can see through it? And there's all the different layers there. So now when we close it up, see, it lays flat to go in an envelope. They all get smushed down. So it's still I don't have a, so say it still fits in an A2 size envelope, which is brilliant. But then when you open it, it pops up like a little shadow box. So I put all of mine way in the back. Okay. This is something that I think I would probably change, and I think it's too late to change it now. But I put mine all the way. Maybe I can bump it up. Maybe, baby. All right. So let's see if we can move this little guy. That double-sided sticky tape is not messing around. Okay. So let me see if I can put him closer to the front of the card and see if I can show you what I meant. I'd like to move the other one too, but if I can't, I can't. Okay. Can I move this one? Yeah, I can, because they're barely hanging on since I kept messing around with them. All right. So now, oh, I can't pull off this one. It'll pull off the paper. We'll just have to add some liquid adhesive to that one. Can I get this one off? Yeah, a little bit of paper, but that's all right. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to know. Just me and you and the 40 other people watching. Okay. Okay, let's put on our new sticky tape now that we know what we're doing. This is going to be such an interesting video to edit because you know I try to leave in all my boo-boos. Okay. So now can you see? My clouds are all the way down into the corner. They are my furthest row back. Then okay, I'm going to go. You can't see. How do I make it so you can see? I'm going to hold it like this. All right. So now I'm going to go here. And push it down. Yeah, you could absolutely add another layer for sure. And then I'm going to flip it this way. And then fold it down. I wish you could, can you see? I'm going to fold it down here. Now you don't want to adhere it all the way down. You still want to adhere it on the same level that this one is on. Okay. So there, see, that creates that step. Now I can see the white like underneath my clouds. I don't love that. Is this the same size? No, it's not. Do I have a piece of white I can? What did I do with the dye? Okay. I don't need it to be the same height. I just need it to be the same width. Doesn't have to be perfection. We're just going to slide it in there. Okay. If ever you have an opportunity to get these Spellbinder shears or their little detail scissors on sale, don't let anybody talk you out of that. One of the best purchases I've ever made. All right, now I can slide this in there and it's going to, okay, I do like that. I do like that because I don't like that you can see the blue underneath my clouds. I'm not here for that. Okay. Also, since we are making this, hi Beth. Since we are making this and I have no idea what I'm doing, I did skip the like the little detail things that I would normally do to my images. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do that or not. It might be too late. Good enough for government work. Ain't that the truth? All right, I'm going to lay this flat so that I can trim along this edge. There we go. And nobody will know. But now it does look so much better because you can't see the blue peeking through. It's all just white now. All right, so now, can we put a little, let's see. It's going to be hard because it's not flat. But let me see if I can put a little detail work. This one is going to be the one that's more challenging because there's no flat surface on there. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll call that good enough. This one I can do before I put it in, though. And then we'll add little highlights here. Okay. Oh, I apologize for my sniffling. Now, this one, I'm going to do right up. Let me push this back a little so you can see what I'm talking about. See how there's a gap in between the two? So this one's going to go right up in the front. And then I'll flip it around. And there's a smidge of a gap between them. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now, no, I still did it. I still didn't do it high enough. What is the matter with me? All right. Okay. That is better. Okay. And then now we have to. No, Kelly. I can't. This is where my husband is like, Kelly, let it go. And I'm like, I cannot. I cannot. Because I know how cute it could look. Am I even going to be able to get this off? No, I'm not. Okay, that's fine. That'll just stay in there. It'll just stay in there. When is tenacity a detriment? When you just won't let your shadow box card go? Is that one? Okay. We are going to do it. All right, I'm going to put them so high up. Look at this huge step. Okay, huge step in between. I'm very nervous that this will stay sticky. Maybe if I hit it with a little, oh, here, wait. Because I can't get it off without ripping it. I'm just going to powder it. That works. Okay. That's an anti-static tool, by the way. Okay. So now, and you can see, like I can see, I don't know if you can. If you look at it from the side, you can see if it's straight or not. All right. Now, yes. Oh, that's so much better. Look at how much closer he is. I hate how far back he is now. Can I let that go? I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to let it go. But that's okay. Next time, I will know. Because see, there's like this huge gap in between these two and not so much here. But that's all right. Let's put this thing together. Okay. And then we'll pull this tab. And then I'm going to flip it this way, actually, so I can see where to line up my edge. Nope. There we go. And then I'll just put my fingers inside to press it down. Okay. Get powder on it. Ah! All right. We did it. Lays flat. Whole scene. And then we can put our little kitty cat on the outside. Here. Or over here. Or down here. Or maybe I could even tuck, maybe I could tuck him back here. No, because what is he? What is he hanging on to in the clouds? Nothing. I wonder if I could put, oh, I wonder if I could do, could I put him on the inside? Up front there. No, I don't like that. I think here is where it's going to be. And then he'll still lay flat. We just got to make sure we don't add any adhesive. So I'm just going to put it right on the shadow box. Good Lord in heaven. Come on. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to put it right on the shadow box. You are very annoying today. Just in case you were unaware. Okay. Good Lord. Never mind. Okay. And then I'm just going to put my hand behind it, I think, to press it. Okay. We got our little cat hanging out there with his little tail. He'll still fit in. And then we can put like a little sentiment or something down here. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, look at how cute he is. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Well, hello. Look at, you can see. You can see my allergies are like, no, ma'am. All right. But anyway, so I think he came out really, really cute. Even though we struggled a little bit. But that's okay. It was all a learning process. So I don't know if I'll leave this cat here or not. I'm not 100% sure. But I think the rest of it, very, very adorable. So thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I appreciate you. I will be live tomorrow over on the Honeybee channel. And then right after I get done closing up here, there I'll put my my video for this card. I will put it up live so that you can check that out if you have a little bit more time and would like to see some more kind of like simple technique coloring. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I always appreciate your time, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.